forest over profit. Shame on you. The 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 forest over profit. That's no way. Not ever, not today. That's no way. Not ever, not today. You. The forest over profit. Shame on you.
Rights to have our voices heard. We've traveled in many different circles, all the way from the UN in 2008. I went to Durban, South Africa, and I spoke on racism. CM here with our youth, with the United Nations, speaking up and speaking out. Between us two, I think we have no fear of speaking out against our government. I had an opportunity to address the Pope when he came to Edmonton. And somehow I managed to get myself kicked out. No idea how that fence fell down. But you know what? They welcomed me back in because it was going to make the country look shame for what they did to us as Indigenous people. How they stole our land and our children, how they oppressed us, how we've had over 10,000 missing and murdered Indigenous people throughout the Turtle Island, how us Indigenous people were rising up now. And I was just saying to CM, I am so proud for everything that she does, because she gives me hope for a better tomorrow by doing the work today. Because I've been on the front lines fighting for the environment, for civil rights, as a survivor who survived the 60s scoop when I was taken from my community at 7 years of age. I didn't have the parents or the teachings of my community to learn about my culture. What I had learned was how to survive the racism, the oppressive actions that our governments on both sides of the border have put on us Indigenous people of the world. And yet, 50 plus years later, in a time of chaos and crisis, the world is looking to us Indigenous people to save their asses. Because guess what? People are starting to understand, us Indigenous people, we are the closest to our Mother Earth. The very people that our government, these people in there that denied me the right to go to the bathroom today, I have a message for them. The very people that denied us the rights to carry on with our culture, they're being forced to hear what we have to say. They're being forced to look us in the eye. They're being forced to deal with us because of what our youth are doing today. Our youth should not have to clean up the mess that was done decades ago. But we cannot leave our youth and say, it's your job to clean it up, because it's not their job. It's going to take the entire Rainbow Nation to clean up the fucking mess. Because us Indigenous people, we did not create this mess. But we know our job, our responsibility is to our number one mother. Our number one mother that gives and gives and gives is called Earth. That's our responsibility, to stand up and to protect her. So to see this many faces here is absolutely awesome. But right away, Sean and Joshua and CM and our Indigenous youth, I noticed right away. Where were we? Traditionally, you acknowledge the land. Right off the bat, you acknowledge the land by inviting the elders to do the welcoming. That didn't happen. If you were on my land, or if you were on CM's land, you would be disciplined right away. Because that's an insult, not to acknowledge the land, but yet you acknowledge now that you need us. You need us to help repair the damage that has been done to our Mother Earth. So I looked at some of the signs, and it really did bother me to see, the water protectors, Indigenous water protectors sign. That was the first sign that I seen. That was the first sign that I addressed, because I asked the people, did you go and invite the Indigenous people to this rally? No. Zero response. Traditionally, in my land, you go to the elders first in each community and you ask them for their advice. Then you extend an invitation to them. Then you get their blessings. So, anyhow, we're here today to stand united, Natsama, meaning we are one. You guys have just received one of the many lessons about cultural respect. But today we stand together and address behind that white tarp. That's where they were serving lunch. Because, Grandma Osa did her usual thing, walking up there because I had to go to the bathroom, and they turned around and told me no. And that's a human rights violation right away. But they sent me to that way. But I had a chance to walk past all their food, and I'm like, buffet. I could get in that line for a buffet. But then I realized it was all processed food. Okay. But, this is the energy that we need to create the change for tomorrow by doing the work today. But there is that one missing link that I'm going to ask each and every one of you to really think about it and work on that missing link. Get to know the people, the Indigenous people of this land. Sit with them, talk with them, hear their stories, go out to their public events. Get to know us. Because, you're looking to us to save Mother Earth. I could tell you the stories about some of the medicines that come from Mother Earth, about the deforestation that's happening all over the coast. When I came across to Port Angeles I came across on that Blackball Ferry, the first thing that I saw, the very first thing, not even a minute off the ferry, I seen a freaking logging truck going by with our brothers, the trees that are not even any more than like maybe 10 years old. And like, oh my God, you know, like, you guys are facing the same shit that we're facing at Berry Creek. In CM's home territory, same thing. So we have to put a stop to the destruction to our mother. We have to do things like make amends to our Mother Earth. How I started this a few months ago with recognizing that we have to apologize and make amends to our Mother Earth was because I've been supporting Ferry Creek for the last 3+ years. Back in February, when I began to really walk the ground and really wondered what I could do, because I made a commitment to their medicine man years ago that I would save the land. I'm walking through this lovely old growth forest, and the first thing I said was, I have to say a prayer, go for a walk in the forest. So I went for a walk in the forest. In the clear, in the land that we were told that we're not allowed to walk in, Grandma's walking in through it. You know, we have a court order that forbids us from going through. I still walked through. I came out with a solution to give back to our land, to give back to our Mother Earth. 5 months later, 6,500 red and yellow cedar trees were planted because cedar is our medicine. 6,500. 10 of us planting. With each seed, each sapling that we put in, we said prayers. We said the prayers, asking the Creator for the forgiveness for what we did. We asked the Creator to give us the courage and the strength to carry on, to protect the land, and to protect our Indigenous folks, because our Indigenous folks suffered at the hands of SERG. SERG is the military police force that deliberately targeted Indigenous land defenders because we were doing our job of protecting our Mother Earth. So 6,500 trees planted with 10 people. Over 100 fruit and vegetable plants to create a vegetable garden so that the land defenders would know what food they could eat, because there was going to be a time that Grandma could not get up there and deliver food like I had been doing for every other day for the last 3 years. So I gave them a little bit of a window of opportunity in saying, put in some potatoes and some carrots and some blueberries, and the list went on. 100 on top of the cedar trees, because there was no way I wanted to have any more land defenders getting sick because they were eating things that they shouldn't be eating. But, you know, it was like, okay, that day did come when SERG moved in again. You know, I think they've come to visit us 5, 6, 7 times. SERG is a military police force that was trained at Standing Rock. Trained by the Marines, they were training the RCMP to attack Indigenous land defenders. So that's another common bond that we have. They're paying attention. They're watching us. They're afraid of us. On the Canadian side of the border, we don't have guns. We don't carry rifles. on this side of the border, I was reminded by Sean that down here, there's more guns than there are people. And I'm like, and your point, you know, it's like, no way. They are so afraid of us on the Canadian side of the border because we have our Seatlia that is guiding us. Our Seatlia, our heart, is telling us what to do the right thing, and to meet each and every person with love and peace in our heart, to stand up against the bullies that are in there, the bullies that are in the downtown businesses of Portland, Oregon, the bullies that are in the pipelines. We have to stand up, united, Natsima, at all costs. We have to set aside our differences. And we have to learn to do what my niece and I have been doing for a long time. We agree to disagree, and we still stand together because we're focused in on one thing: leaving behind a better tomorrow. So I want you guys to stand up. Stand up. We're going to sing this woman's warrior song. Come a little closer. Come on.
The folks across the street. Can the folks across the street come in a little closer? I know it's a little unconventional. Yeah. Yeah. If everyone can just come in a little closer again.
Come on. Hey, hey, hey. Yah-hee-yo, oh, ho. Yah-hee-yo, oh, ho, oh, hey, hey. Yah-hee-yo, yah-hee-yo, oh, ho, hey. Hey, there's new toys down here for me to play with. Yeah, but you know what? I'm looking at your guys' body language. Like, really, seriously? Hello?
You gotta break it down for us. We're not that smart.
But no, it actually, it does reflect.